What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be doing a review I've actually never done before. As you can see, tell by the title, it's a review of The Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 2 for Xbox or any consoles, PC, whatever. House Divided. Now, I've never reviewed this game before in general, but I thought, I know I haven't reviewed any of the other episodes. I've got all of the episodes and played all of them, but I've never reviewed any of the others. But I thought this was just such a great episode, probably one of the best ones in my opinion. I thought, you know what, I'll review it, and I know there'll be no gameplay in this because I don't use capture cards and that, and I don't normally do gaming videos, so sorry about that, but I'm just going to speak about it and do my opinions, and this review will contain spoilers. I know my Lego Movie review didn't, but this will, because I can't really talk about this without saying spoilers, because I'm not that good at talking about, like, subjects like games and stuff. I'm not good at I'm not just good at, like, talking about games in front of the camera without, like, without saying any spoilers, because there's not loads I can say without saying spoilers, because there's a lot that happens in this game. Anyway, in this episode. So, click off the video now. Okay, you've had your chance to click off. Let's talk about the spoilers! Okay, so the first thing about this. So we start off in the episode with either Pete or Nick. Whoever you decide to save. I went with Pete because, you know, he didn't have very much ammo at the end of the last episode, and, you know, he was bit and all that. So I went with Pete, and I got him. So it starts off, if you save Pete, I know what happens if you save Nick. I've watched it, but I'm not going to talk about that. Watch another review if you want to know about that, because I'm not going to talk about it. I'm talking about what I did, pretty much, see ya. But I know what happens if you save Nick. If you save Pete, you start off in, like, in this like van, and like there's walkers outside, like, trying to get in, and Peter like talks about some stuff about how he doesn't want to die and how he's scared, and then Clementine passes him a saw. He was gonna cut off his leg with it, but then he's too coward, and he's like, no, I can't do this, and I don't really blame him, to be honest, because like he says, he'll bleed out, and then what's Clementine gonna do, carry him on his back? I think that's the quote he says. Anyway, I think that's what he says anyway. Anyway, next part. What also happens then is that Pete will like sacrifice himself, because when you get out after the next morning, Clementine will find him, like, really, like, just turning, and then Pete just sacrifices himself. You run off back to the cabin. You find Carlos and Rebecca. Oh, I really don't like Rebecca. I hate her. Although you do get to like her a little bit more in this episode, though, than last episode. She was horrible last episode. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So yeah, Carlos has a go at you, and he's like, why? Oh, where were you? And Rebecca has a go at you. She's like, where were you exactly? And you were like, down by the stream. And then they go out and they grab the guns, and then Carlos is like, watch Sarah for me. Oh, even though Sarah's an idiot and she's not as badass as Clementine, but watch Sarah for me, man. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take care of her. I'm not. And so yeah, we take care of Sarah after that, who I really don't like, because she's not badass like Clementine. Clementine is just really cool, and she knows how to use a gun and stuff, and Sarah's not like that. Sarah's just an idiot, to be honest. So we look after that, we go into her room, she's taking pictures with a camera on. I'm like, really? You can say sure, and you can take a picture of her, or she'll take it herself. For me, she took it herself, because I just said I'm not in the mood, because I'm being a bit of an idiot. Then what happens is that Carver comes to the door, and you can be really rude to him. You can be really rude to Carver, or you can be quite nice to him. I was really rude to him personally, because I just wanted to be rude to him. So I was like, yeah, Carver, come at me, bro. And I was like, oh no, I'm just gonna be rude to you because I feel like it. And I slammed the door on him, and he was like, is that how you treat your neighbour? And I was like, oh! And I was like, I knew you're not my neighbour, but yeah. I'm really acting a bit crazy in this review. Anyway, so he comes in, he starts poking around, he's nosy in your house, stupid guy, and he goes through the kitchen, you see a knife, you grab it, and he's like, where does this go in the drawer? So that's really enough about Carver, because otherwise I'm just going to go too far on this review. Next thing that happens is they come back and they're like, someone was at the door. And then I get a freak out because they know who it was, and obviously this group despises Carver and he was with them before. So this all happens and they're like, oh my god! Yeah. So then you head out, you know, then it's like you head out for a bit. You go back to find Pete, but he turns out he's already dead. He got shot in the head and then got eaten by walkers, so that sucks. Nick then acts really sad for pretty much the rest of the episode. He's like, oh. So then it says 5 days later, you carry on walking, you come across this bridge, and then you meet up with this guy on the bridge, and he's like, hey there, what's up? And we're like, nothing. And then he says he offers to give us food and stuff, and we're like, alright, that's a pretty fair deal. And then as he does that, I'm just going to check the time on the camera real quick. Okay, 6 minutes. So when you meet up with this guy on the bridge, he acts all nice to you, and he's like, hey, want some food? And we're like, yeah, of course we want some food. So yeah, he gives you some food. No, he doesn't give you some food. I forgot. Nick is an idiot, goes up and shoots him in the shoulder, and I'm like, what the hell, Nick? Seriously? I mean, how stupid can Nick get? The guy was going to help us, he shoots him, and he's like, falls off the bridge into the water, and then Luke gets really peed off, and he's like, Nick, you idiot! And he starts, yeah, all sorts of stuff. And Clementine's like, why did you shoot? So then they get off, they search the guy's house for, like, well, I don't know if it was his house, actually, because he's part of another group, but they search it, and they only find 2 cans of peaches and beans, which isn't that much, but still. You talk to Alvin for a bit, and it's like, yeah, I'm Alvin, and you just talk to him for a bit, and yeah. Next after that, you go to a ski lodge, and you find an old friend. Now, it's Kenny. Obviously I said that there's going to be spoilers, so I'm sorry, but yeah, there's going to be spoilers. Yeah, Kenny is the I Thought You Were Dead guy. I'm glad that it was him. I'm really glad it wasn't Lily. Oh god, I would have been pretty annoyed if it was her. But I really hated Lily. Kenny, he's really awesome. He's got a new badass beard along with his mustache, and he looks awesome. He explains how he got out of whether Kristen needed help with the walkie-talkie or he saves Ben. With me, it was Kristen with the walkie-talkie. I let Ben's ass go. I didn't like Ben. Screw Ben. So yeah, he says that. I was expecting a little more backstory on that. I was expecting him to explain what happened a bit more, but no! He doesn't have to even give us a little bit. I'm just thankful he gave us a little bit, though, to be honest. So then what happens is that Walter finds out, yeah, there's another guy called Walter and Sarita, which are the 2 people which Kenny are with. Walter happens to be friends with the Matthew guy, who you actually shoot on the bridge. Matthew's the guy you shoot on the bridge. And, he gets really annoyed. And he's like, he gets a knife out which he found, which is Matthew's knife, and he's like, right, Nick, I'm gonna kill you, because he finds out it was Nick. You can either tell the truth or lie to him. I told the truth. And then, you know, there's a bit of trouble outside with the walkers, and you can either do one of the 2 things. Nick can either die or live. For me, he died, because I said that Nick was just like everyone else. I didn't say he was a good... Well, no, I was silent. Maybe I should have said that. I could always change it, but... Anyway, yeah, that was really good. Like, the walkers bite his neck. It's pretty gruesome, actually. And then what happens? Carver comes. Oh my god. And I forgot to mention earlier, Barney from the 400 Days DLC is in this. She comes over for you and Walter gives her some food. But she's lying! She didn't need food at all. She's actually working for Carver. And then there's these 2 other guys who come with Carver. One of them who's totally silent, says nothing. The other one who gets killed pretty quickly. I mean, Kenny shoots him. And then they go in and then... you all get caught up, you get your hands tied back, and then Carl's like, oh, where's Rebecca? And then he grabs Carlos and starts beating the crap out of Carlos and breaking his fingers, and it looked pretty painful if you ask me. So So then you get the choice to either surrender or go and find Kenny. I went and found Kenny because I'm like, I'm not surrendering to this guy, Carver. So then I went and surrendered to Kenny. So what happened then was that Kenny was like, yo, should we shoot these people? And I was like, yeah. So you can either have Alvin die if you shoot them, but I had Alvin live. I had Nick die though. So when so what happens if you let Alvin die? Is it Carver gets shot and he gets back up again and shoots Alvin? For me, I told Kenny not to shoot, and then I was like, think about Cerritos, and then it's Kenny surrenders, and yeah. And then that's pretty much where it ends. So overall, I thought this episode was really good. I thought it was probably one of the best episodes we've had in a while. I think my favourite episodes are House Divided, this one, Starved for Help, and I quite liked No Time Left as well. And All That Remains wasn't that bad. I think my least favourite was probably Around Every Corner, because it was just it was quite a long episode, and like, there was a lot of boring parts to it. But oh well, this episode was really good. I rate it a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, epic review. So I'll see you guys next time. And I know I didn't go into as much detail as I could have, but I did quite a lot, and I think that's good. So yeah, that's really it. I'm trying to think if there's anything I've missed out. So yeah, Bonnie, I was actually really not expecting Bonnie to be a villain working for Carver. That's pretty bad. Oh, and there is a teaser for episode 3, but teaser trailers are very misleading on The Walking Dead. They really are. Like, for example, at the end of episode 1, the teaser for this wasn't that good. So yeah, I guess that's it, and I'll see you next time.